Listen to this. I can't lie. Some of you women have wife written all over you. The problem is, you keep picking dudes who can't read. Don't let that go over your head.
What's up? What's up? What's up? I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in to Be Greater Podcast. It's your boy Earthwind. I just want to say please hit the subscribe button and salute to everybody that's rocking with me. Yeah.
So I want to chime in on this. So I'm the girl that's never enough. Not saying this, we're not crying over here. Gone. Like, I'm the girl that's never enough. Like, I'm the girl that's good enough to travel with and have new experiences with and to cuddle and lay with. I'm almost like a human diary for people. But the crazy part is, I can be all of this. I can overshare, overgive, overlove because my attachment style is people pleasing. I can put all of this effort into someone and I can watch them not appreciate it. I can hear you say, I want XYZ and I need 1, 2, 3. I'll make XYZ and 1, 2, 3 happen. But I'm the girl that they don't want XYZ and 1, 2, 3 to come from. Like, I'm a transition for them, if you will. Most times, like, I meet you when you're in between that phase of not sure if you're wanting to fully commit, like go long term, like marriage, or if you want to live the bachelor lifestyle. And I've had and it's not like I'm not a good person. I'm very aware of who I am because I can name countless times men have told me, oh, you are a good woman. You don't deserve any of the stuff that you go through and da 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 da. But those are the same men that don't want to give me what they tell me that I deserve. Like, I'm good enough to do all of this stuff with, but I'm not good enough for you to make your mind up for. I'm not good enough for you to make the conscious decision to say, I want to choose her over and over and over again because that's who I want. For me, I'm always a question mark for people, and I don't like that. It's always a question mark behind my name, but I know how I come behind people I genuinely love and care about.
I appreciate your honesty, young lady. I definitely appreciate your vulnerability. If you don't know, my name is Earthwind, your favorite celestial being in the flesh. This is Be Greater Podcast, right? With all that said, right, listen, I'm going to take the approach like, you my daughter, you my sister, you my niece, you my cousin, right? It's a couple of things. Because I done heard these situations, right? And me in my travels, I might have heard a woman speak to me with a similar word selection that you have just chosen to choose, right? So long story short, number one, it's not you, but it's you, right? And what do I mean by that? First and foremost, as a woman, it behooves you, it's in your best interest to align yourself with a man who has similar interests as you, right? And a man who has a lust and an attraction for you, right? It is not in your best interest to be ultra feminine, ultra submissive, cooking and cleaning and doing all these things that a stereotypical woman is supposed to do. And if this man doesn't have any long-term plans for you, it's not in your best interest, right? If you was my daughter and my daughter was like, yeah, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm fucking, I'm sucking, all of this, and she ain't got no long-term, nothing set in stone, it's problematic, right? Communications. In 2023, a lot of people have a hard time communicating. Just saying what's on their chest. Just speaking up, right? Say it with your chest, right? That's a hard thing. And with the over love, as you say, and the over giving, as you say, you become a fun time. The fun time girls is the overgivers, it's the over lovers, the over everything, right? She's a ball of fun. I'll fly you out. We can go bowling. We can go on a dinner. We can go on a date. Saturday night, Chicago, lakefront, whatever, downtown. You a balling. We gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen. But you have to be more than that, right? You got to be more than the overgiver, right? Because every man, I'm gonna keep saying this, drug dealer, lawyer, police officer, work at Walmart, or a judge, all love a submissive, feminine woman, right? And any woman who's living in that energy is going to attract pretty much every man, right? But the caveat is men choose. And this is what women don't be understanding, right? So how do men choose, right? So when a girl tells me, a young black king born and raised in the south side of Chicago, been living my best life for a long time, and you can't tell me no different, right? When a girl tells me who is single, she can get any man she want. And I understand that she wholeheartedly believes this in her whole heart. And when I interject, like, yeah, to sleep with you, and how that throws a conundrum, man, a whole train of thought, her logic, like, because sometimes women confuse getting fucked with potential to being a wife. Two totally different entities, energies, right? Men choose by not choosing you, right? Women that have a baby by a man that they would get on social media and talk crazy about, right? Baby daddy ain't this. Baby daddy is this. He ain't worth this. Baby daddy X, Y, and Z. But you chose to lay down and reproduce and let this man ejaculate inside of you. Get the viscous innards, as MTR would say, right? But be like, this man is not worthy enough to be my husband, but he is worthy enough to be your baby father. Problematic, right? Men choose by not choosing you, right? By not giving you anything other than physical satisfaction. That's how men choose. It's not going to be written on the wall. It's not going to be, men ain't going to boast about it, right? This is not something that men even probably consciously think, right? But, and when I speak of men, let's put this little disclaimer, this little caveat in there, right? When I speak of men, I'm speaking of the man like the women want, like the top 30% of men, right? We ain't talking about the bottom 60% of men. We talking about, because it's already understood that when women sit down in a quiet moment and describe the man that they want, they are describing a man that most women want. And it's already understood that 80% of women only really rock with 20% of men, right? So I'm going to say 30%, just to get the, you know what I'm saying, the outliers, right? Most women, when they're dealing with men, they're only dealing with 30%, right? So when you're dealing with men who got options, you got to be on par with everything. Femininity, submissiveness, looks, right? Looks is a thing. In 2023, everybody think they're a king and they're a queen and they're 9 and they're 10. And in reality, the proof's in the pudding, right? I feel like I'm very handsome. I can give me a dime, whatever like that. But I know for me, I probably need to give me a nice little 7, 6, and get up out of here, right? People a lot of times they have a hard time understanding where they lie and who they are and what their worth is, right? Because what your worth is in your mind and who you are and how you think you is deserving of, in reality, on the open market, is two different things. And the proof's in the pudding. And that's when you have women online talking about I did everything for this man and he still didn't choose me. And that's the same thing as when you have men online. I flew a chick out. I did everything. I paid all her bills and she didn't choose me, right? Because it get deeper than looks, or it can be simple as looks, right? Depending on the person that you choosing. That's why I started off with, it's not you, but it is you, right? First and foremost, who you choosing? Do they look at the world the same way that you look at the world, right? So I'm talking to my daughter, like, what is this man basic principles? What type has he built? What is his outlook on life? What is his outlook on women? Are you a helpmate? Or are you his queen? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are the type of conversations that women sometimes don't have with men. And they find themselves overextending themselves. And it's like the stock market, right? Heard the analogy. Bro was like, sometimes relationships is like the stock market. And people will find themselves over investing. Like, right, listen, I put my life savings in Nike, right? Nike cannot fail. Reebok cannot fail. Louis Vuitton cannot fail, right? And it's failing. They failing. It's failing, right? And instead of cutting your losses, you gonna hope it rebound. Sometimes it don't. And a lot of times with relationships, it don't. Sometimes you gotta cut your losses. Sometimes you invest in a person and you don't wanna cut your losses and you go down with the ship. And what's good if everybody die? If the wife, the father, the kids die, what's the point, right? Like, if you was my daughter, like, I would tell my daughter, like, you need to understand what is the difference between a fun time and a long time. A fun time and a long time. I said it jokingly in a lot of my videos. I fly you out. We can do a whole lot of things, but like, listen, getting a ring from me, that's a different type of energy. And it's just facts. And as a man who I feel like I'm privileged and I lived a good life and I've been in places where I can, choose. I done heard word selection like this young lady spoken towards me. And I feel sorry because, like, I'm never one to lead on. And I make it a big deal in my life not to lead on, right? I try to make sure women understand exactly where they stand and where they at. And there ain't no miscommunication. But like I said, if you was my daughter, young lady, I'd tell you, like, listen, you need to deal with who like you. And make sure they like you for more than what you got between your legs. Because that'll lead you not being in situations where you're as confused as you are. But what do I know? A whole lot of uneducated opinions. Y'all already know the vibes. Your favorite celestial being in the flesh. My name is Earth Wind. This is the Greater Podcast. Like always, be great or die.